Okay guys, we're here with the final fight of the Dragon Ball Z Supreme Battle Spectacle stages, taking on Goten and Trunks from the Bio movie. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to beat the fight and explain how the fight works, but I'll also go ahead and show you guys how to beat a special challenge with the fight as well, which is to beat it with a team full of uncontrollable power category characters. Of course, uncontrollable power is the new category that was introduced during the Worldwide Celebration campaign, so I'll show you guys how to beat that as well at the same time. So, first of all, showing you guys the team that I used to cook and beat this whole kind of challenge with myself. This is actually the team I went ahead and beat it with. So this is actually one of two teams I beat it with. Obviously, we see right here the Prime Battle LR Bio Elite. He is, of course, a free-to-play LR, so you can farm him no cost whatsoever. And he is an uncontrollable power leader with 150% to the stats, so you can take advantage of him in case you weren't lucky enough to pull the Part 2 Int LR Broly, who, of course, was the other uncontrollable power leader. So that is an option for you if you want to do that for the leader skill. Also, I do have the physical LR Janemba with his EZA, a fantastic character, able to fit all different kind of roles, so he's going to be a fantastic choice here as well. Also, the Tech LR Broly with the EZA, his damage output is just ballistic, so he's a fantastic character for these types of fights in general. And then also, aside from him, we have the Int Broly EZA. Now, this is an interesting kind of choice to some, maybe, because the Int Broly EZA on paper is not necessarily that great in the grand scheme of the game, right? There are a lot of fights where Broly can't see his max potential. But obviously, taking on movie hero kind of characters like Goten and Trunks from the Bio Broly movie, they are movie hero characters, so Broly will get a lot of his kit unlocked, so his Int Broly self is pretty fine, I would say. It's not really going to be too much of an issue. Also, Physical Bootank's a character under the uncontrollable power category with the healing and everything. He's going to be pretty nice. And then finally, the Super EZA support Broly as well. A lot of support he can provide, a lot of AoEs, which is going to be very helpful for this type of fight. Aside from that, for the friend leader, this is what I'm going to be doing right here. I'm going to be taking the Int Broly right here. Of course, we have the ability to take any sort of friend leader we want, so might as well take advantage of this type of option right here. So let's go ahead and go into the fight. I'll explain how the fight works, and we'll just kind of go through the motions, sort of, in that sense, as we kind of just beat Goten and Trunks, go through the fight, show you guys what you need to be careful of and everything like that. So first of all, when it comes to Goten and Trunks, this is a two-phase fight, right? So obviously we're in phase 1 against Goten, 18, and Trunks. And these three have different kinds of mechanics, as you see where they're kind of popping up here. But they have different kind of mechanics we do want to understand so we know how to kind of approach this kind of phase, right? So starting off with Trunks, right at the end there, he is immune to sealing, he's immune to stuns, and he is immune to defense down. However, he is not immune to attack down, so we can debuff his attack. And also, it's worth noting, he is an orb changer. He will change tech orbs into AGL key spheres. So that is something that can be kind of annoying, especially in relation to Goten, who we'll talk about in just a moment. But also, aside from Trunks, before I forget, with his super attack effect, he can lower our defense for one turn. So not the end of the world, but it is kind of annoying. Also with 18 now, moving on to her, right? She is the typical kind of design, right? She's immune to seals, immune to stuns, immune to attack, and defense down. So no kind of gimmicks can be thrown upon her to kind of cheese her and get her out of the way, right? But also with her super attack effect, 18 can actually seal our supers for one turn in terms of whoever she hits with her own super attack. So that can be kind of annoying. Thankfully, in this turn, she's not attacking before any of our characters are, so we won't have to worry about the sealing, but that still is something that we do want to be careful of to a fair degree. So that's something right there. And then with Goten, right? Goten is the actual boss of the phase, if you will. So he is immune to stuns, he's immune to defense down. However, he is not immune to seals, and he is not immune to attack down. So we can debuff him in those two ways. And also, he has this very kind of annoying gimmick here in some sort of sense, if you will, which is basically that per AGL key sphere that we obtain, we will be receiving 40,000 damage to our HP. Now, this damage will not knock us out, it will not kill us. However, it will make things a lot more difficult. So that's something we do want to be wary of. And for Goten, with his super attack effect, he will also be able to lower our attack for one turn. So that is what Goten has to offer. Obviously, in relation to that 40,000 damage, you see right here all the bombs just indicating the orbs that we really basically want to avoid if we don't want to take that damage for free. So we really do have some challenges to watch out here. Of course, not too many rainbow orbs either, so that super easy Broly is going to be suffering a bit, but it is what it is. We'll have to just make do. Now, when it comes to how to handle this first phase, there are two kind of general approaches I would say that you can kind of go about with. One is to just get rid of Goten as soon as possible. You can get rid of Goten because if you get rid of him first, all of these bombs are no longer in play because Goten is the only one who's activating all the bomb mechanics on the field. So once Goten is gone, then the bombs are no longer a thing to worry about for you going throughout the rest of the phase. So that is one way you can go about it, is just to get rid of Goten first and foremost. The other way you can go about it, which is what I'm planning to do, is I'm going to go ahead and focus on 18, then I'll move to Trunks, then I'll kind of end it off with Goten. Now, the reason why I choose to go about it this way is because of the HP thresholds, right? So for 18, she is the weakest in terms of HP, her HP is the lowest, followed by Trunks. Trunks is the second strongest, and then Goten is the strongest in terms of the HP. Now, it's not that far of a difference between the three, but because of that, I would rather get rid of 18 and then Trunks. That way, we can just kind of manage to mitigate the number of attacks kind of coming our way. So that's how I plan to approach this. So anyways, got all that taken care of. Let's go ahead and focus on 18. I'll just take that one orb and accept for what it is. We could take those orbs, but I really don't want to. Instead, what I'll do is, because we have almost a 24 key kind of setup right here, I'll go ahead, let's get that one orb there for a Bio Bully, and then we'll take the one orb. It does suck that we can't get more for the super easy Broly, but still, you know, with his AoEs, with what he can do, he still should be able to enjoy himself pretty good. Let me put it that way. Janemba, his damage is not looking too good right now, but he will also get stronger as the fight kind of progresses. You know, he needs to perform rather a couple of attacks in order to kind of build himself up. So eventually we'll see him do a lot better damage overall. But really, when it comes to this fight, you know, a lot of people have the general kind of shared consensus, which is that this fight, for being one of the final fights of the Worldwide Celebration campaign, it is kind of disappointing, and I understand that sentiment. Actually, I would agree with it to a same degree, or to a similar kind of level, because, you know, being one of the final fights of the whole kind of celebration, of a big celebration, obviously we're looking for hard content. Yes, there are some interesting kind of mechanics with the bombs and everything, and we'll see the bombs in Phase 2, by the way, as a bit of a spoiler, if you will. But at the same time, you know, it seems like the devs elected to focus on the mechanics and the bombs and everything, and decided not to focus on tuning up the opponent bosses to actually do boss type of damage and everything. So when it comes to Goten, 18, and Trunks, they're not exactly the most powerful bosses in the world in terms of individual stats and everything like that. So the mechanic is cool. I like the mechanic. I hope they continue to introduce it in various kind of fights. I just wish they made sure to tune up Goten and 18 and Trunks and those kind of characters more as well. Still, though, 85k, you know, that's some decent damage. We're taking a bit of damage right there. But also, Broly is not fully built up, so that's something worth mentioning as well. So we could actually have tanked that a lot better, I would say. Alright, turn 2. Of course, we still got those blue orbs. That's going to be a bit of a nuisance for sure. How do I want to approach this? I think the only way to approach this really is to let the Int Broly kind of chill in the front there. So we'll let him do that. We'll actually go ahead and take those orbs, because, I mean, that way he can kind of max himself out, get as much damage as possible. We'll do that, I suppose, and then we'll just get that one orb for Int Broly. So that'll be fine. We are going to have a bit of a situation here, because there are a lot of blue orbs just waiting for us to basically cause problems for us. So that is going to be a bit concerning. Obviously, if you have orb changers would help us out, obviously, tremendously. I do not have any real orb changers on this team, other than like the Int Broly, if the domain is active and everything, or if the revival is activated, then maybe I could have him for the orb changer, but obviously I'm not doing I'm not doing either of those things. Jeez, I can't talk. I'm not doing either of those things just yet, because I want to save the domain for Phase 2, where I would say it's probably more important. And I think that's something that we all should be aware of, is that I will say it right now. The domain you can use, like, you know, turn 1 or so with this type of team for Int Broly. Yes, it will speed up the damage output and everything against these types of characters. I think it's more valuable to save it, though, for Phase 2, because Phase 2, there are territory effects on the field that the domain can cancel out. So those are areas where I would say the domain is more valuable to keep. 60 million, though, from the Tech LR Broly EZA. This Tech Broly is fantastic. I mean, I just love what they did with his EZA. I wish the Int Broly EZA was close to his level. Obviously not on the same level, because it's a UR versus an LR. But still, you know, the conditions they gave to the Int Broly EZA, we all talk about it. It's just frustrating. That's all it is. It's simply put, it's just frustrating, because he has a really good kit for a UR and everything, except half of his kit is blocked by the conditions, and you can't even see those conditions half the time, because it's just so annoying. So yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating in the grand scheme of things. Thankfully, Broly is still cooking what he can. We are doing a bit of damage to Goten, not too much, but that bit of damage is helpful, of course. And actually, depending on how this is going right now, which it seems like it's progressing towards getting rid of Goten as soon as possible, I may end up switching from Trunks to Goten, yeah, because I think HP-wise, I think he's at the same kind of boat now as Trunks, so we could just go for that. Jeez, that is a lot of blue orbs. I'm actually kind of terrified, because that is a lot of blue orbs facing my direction. We'll go ahead and take... Jeez, I mean, I don't want to take all of them, because that's going to do a lot of damage. We'll see right here. Yeah, that took away pretty much half of our HP. Jeez Louise. Okay, how's our healing looking? The stats are not looking too great for Bio Broly, but he should be able to tank. That's the thing. And then, you know, Boo tanks, we'll just let him handle his business. How much is this going to do? Nothing, because Janemba is nullifying it like a boss. We do love to see that. Janemba, he's a fantastic character. I love that he got his EZA. I was not expecting it at the end of the celebration, along with the Tech Gogeta EZA, of course. You know, both of them happened. I didn't expect either to happen right now. I thought it would actually happen maybe going towards, like, the 10th year anniversary, somewhere around that. But yeah, them happening right now is fantastic for me. I absolutely love this. It's fantastic for me. I have no complaints. Alright, Goten, I need you to take this double eraser cannon from the boy Bio Broly, Bio Goat, as some people in my friend circle like to call him. Some people really do love how this Bio Broly is designed, and actually, I'll give credit where credit is due. This Bio Broly is a fun character. The way they designed him, you look at it and you're like, why can't they design all ECAs like this, all free-to-play characters like this? Because he has a bunch of damage reduction. He has a taunt mechanic, by the way, which is actually kind of sick. It's just all really good. Alright, now Bootanks, what you got for me? Bootanks is the one I'm kind of scared for, because Bootanks, he doesn't have guaranteed he doesn't have guaranteed guard, necessarily, so, he could take some damage, potentially. He does have the chance to dodge as well, so if both of those things work out, Janemba, or not, jeez, I'm messing up everything right now. My brain is turning into mush right now, jeez. Okay, back to Bootanks, though. Bootanks is a character I'm kind of concerned of. We see the guard, so he's perfectly fine, but, you know, without the guard, without any dodging, he could have taken some serious damage, so Bootanks, definitely a character where he may be a bit concerning, but Buhan is a menace. Buhan is the one I'm looking forward to getting out onto the field. Okie dokie, so we got some nice kind of setups here. Unfortunately, once again, we are going to have to take a bunch of orbs, but this time I'll let the Int Broly take them because he does heal with the orbs he takes, so even though we'll be taking some damage, we'll heal some of it back in return right there. You see, we got some of it back, so that works out for us. I definitely do not want to take all of these orbs. We'll just take that. I mean, it really doesn't matter. We'll save the one rainbow orb for Broly. That way he can get some support, help us out, and then, yeah, we'll be good, I guess. Now, will we get rid of Goten right away is the question. 18 million from In Broly. In Broly is a fun character, a lot of utility, which is why I took him as the friend lead. You could take another Bio Broly, of course, for that double taunt option. You could actually take even, depending on the team comp, you could take characters like the Tech Carnival LR Broly for a friend lead or something like that, but I really do like the In Broly for this fight. I think he's actually, I wouldn't say he's a quintessential must-have by any means for this type of fight to win. But, you know, his ability to heal and everything, that can be very important. His domain, we'll see, is very important in terms of, like, the second phase for making things a lot easier. So, I think In Broly is definitely a character you want to take for the friend lead if you can help and, you know, build the team comp around that sort of focus. We should be getting rid of Goten right here. Perfect. Unfortunately, we didn't get the AoE from Broly for that, but that's okay. Tech Broly, he's still going crazy. Tech Broly is a bully, man. Tech Broly, the animations and everything, the damage output, he's just a massive bully, jeez. Alright, Super Easy Broly, he's not going to do too much for us. I mean, he's just going to be doing his damage, so it is what it is. And yeah, we're good to go. We should be able to make it out of this no problem. Now the question is, will we heal up enough? That's going to be my question because I would like to heal everything up. You see, of course, now that Goten is gone, these AGL orbs are all safe and good to go, so we can take advantage of that once again if we want to do so. Not that we have to, but it is an option if we would wish to take advantage of it. So that is all well and good, but we really don't need it. We're just going to take the orbs here to try to heal up a bit and keep it pushing. By the way, as a quick aside, you know, as I'm recording this video, I'm going to try to record all of the final kind of mission guides, because I have to do this one, and I have to do the 2 missions for the Stage 6 of the Supreme Battle Spectacle stages, so I will try to go ahead and record all those. But, you know, as I'm recording this, Sparking Zero is about to come out, and I myself, you know, I said on my community post, I cannot afford Sparking Zero. I even said on my Twitter account, I cannot afford Sparking Zero. I am broke, so, you know, it sucks. I know, like, I'm sad about it. I'm seeing all, like, the early access videos and everything. It's just so fire. The game looks so awesome. And obviously the Metacritic reviews are on top of Sparking Zero. They're such a big fan. So everything about Sparking Zero, it looks so lit. And I know I'm sad I'm not going to have it, but I hope all of you guys who watch the video and everything, I do hope you guys are able to have the game. And if you guys are having it, I hope you guys are going to enjoy the absolute mess out of it. I hope it's going to be one of the best games of all time for you guys and for everyone, really, because we're finally getting another addition to the Budokai Tenkaichi series. Obviously, it's technically now called Sparking Zero, so it's not following the Budokai Tenkaichi name exactly, quote-unquote, but it is still in that same focus. It's still the same franchise. It's still the same, you know, part of that family. It's just such a cool game, and it's just so exciting to see what they're going to be cooking with it. I'll go ahead and get Buhan out on the field, so that way I don't have to worry about him anymore. But yeah, that game just looks so amazing, and I'm just so excited to see what everyone's going to be cooking with it. I hope everyone's having a blast with the game already by the time if this recording comes out, by the time the game actually starts, then I hope everyone's having a great time already. I hope everyone will have a great time. I mean, they talk, like, the Sparking Zero game is just so sick. I just want to kind of have that quick aside, just to kind of put it out there. The game looks so awesome, and I'm just so excited for everyone who's going to have a chance to play it. Alright, now we're into Phase 2. So obviously, again, the final phase of the fight. Only 2 phases is pretty short and pretty sweet, I guess, in that sort of regard. But when it comes to this phase, of course, you know, we're getting still jumped, if you will, by a 2-on-1 type of situation, I guess, or 2-on-7, really, I guess, if you count the characters. But of course, we have Goten and Trunks, and then we have Krillin off to the side. So we'll start with Krillin. For Krillin, the way he works is he is immune to seals, immune to attack and defense down, and immune to stuns, right? So typical things there. Also, with his super attack effect, he is only causing colossal damage to the enemy. So no kind of crazy things there, just a pretty simple, straightforward kind of focus for him. So really nothing to worry about in terms of what he can do to make things more difficult for us, other than just being a boss kind of character in the fight, right? For Goten and Trunks, they are the annoying kind of character to deal with in this fight, right? So a couple of things for them. Of course, they are immune to seals, they're immune to attack and defense down, and they're immune to stuns, right? So the typical kind of boss stuff there. But also here, they keep that cold kind of bomb mechanic focus, right? So instead of before with the AGL orbs, now per physical orb that we obtain, we'll be receiving 6% of our max HP as damage. So instead of that 40,000 damage, which is a flat number, now it's 6% of our HP. Now it's even more treacherous, so we really have to be careful this time around about avoiding all the bombs on the field. So that is definitely something to watch out for. Aside from that, you know, with Goten and Trunks, the way they work is a couple things, right? For one, with their super attack effect, they will greatly raise their defense for one turn, so that will make them a bit tankier. And also, they have two territory effects right here. So you see right here, one is that they can increase their damage received, or reduce the damage received, I should say. They can increase their damage reduction. That's what I meant to say. So they can make themselves a bit tankier there. And also, they have the ability to change orbs right here. So this, with the territory effect active, they will be able to change STR orbs into physical key spheres. So that is something that's going to help them put more bombs on the field, and that's going to be very annoying. Now, to that end, when I said earlier, you know, for phase 1, one option you could do is go after Goten and get rid of the bombs. That is the strategy I'm going to be doing this time around, because for me personally, I have a lot of physical units on the team, so they can handle the type advantage against Krillin. Goten and Trunks with those bombs, they are even more treacherous than ever, so I am going to go ahead and just focus on getting rid of them as soon as possible. And actually, I will use the whole kind of Janemba Rage form to that advantage. So you see all the bombs, you're like, oh no, what are we going to do? The Rage form does not care. We don't take any damage in the Rage form from the opponents or from these orb kind of mechanics. So really, Janemba is kind of like a cheat code with that sort of form, right? Because with the Rage form, you can take all those physical orbs and just kind of reset the field, if you will, and that's going to be a fantastic kind of thing for us. We see the damage not doing too much to us, or actually, it did do a lot to us, but it's not going to do anything because of the Rage, so we're good there. 17 million from Janemba. He's going to be eating good right now. Now, unfortunately, yeah, with the domain not being active, this is what I was talking about with the Int Broly domain, right? With the Int Broly domain not being active right now, Goten and Trunks still have that damage reduction. So that damage reduction is slowing us down just slightly. Once we get the domain active next turn, I believe, then we should be able to kind of wash through them a lot faster. But, you know, Janemba's still able to do some damage, just not as much as we could have seen if the whole kind of territory effect was gone. So this is where I would say domains are important to keep for this part of the phase, so you can activate them, get rid of the damage reduction and the orb changing, and then that will make things a lot easier for you guys, and obviously it will make things a lot quicker and more fun in that sort of sense as well. So that is what I'll say there. Krillin, thankfully, he's not very gimmicky himself. If he was someone who could seal or stun us, that would be something I would be very annoyed by. But thankfully, just being a typical kind of boss, he's not something we have to worry about. So that is a major plus for us. Alright, there we go, Rage form gone. I do wish, this is what I'll say as a criticism of Janemba's, like, EZA. I wish they made a decision to update Janemba's Rage form to last 2 turns. 2 turns will be fantastic. It's only 1 turn, so you see that damage 1 time and that's it. I wish it was 2 turns. If it was 2 turns, it would be fantastic. Okay, that's just what I'm going to say there, but yeah, I wish we had it. Okay, we'll get the active there. Bio Broly, or Bio Goat, getting his active skill available with the taunt and everything, so we are good to go now. We'll be taking all those hits, but we should be a-okay. Janemba, geez, how do I want to play this? We'll go ahead and take those orbs right there. We still have the damage reduction to worry about, so nothing we can do there. It is what it is. We'll take that, and then we'll just take that green orb right there. I don't want to take any physical orbs and make things more dangerous for me. Now, Bio Broly, thankfully, with the damage reduction, he should be cooking. Janemba, he'll do his damage, so we really don't have to worry about him or monitor him or nothing. It's super easy. Broly, too, with the AoEs and everything, he should be able to build up his damage a slight bit, of course, taking on the Trunks and the Goten and also Krillin, so this team is a really fantastic, very powerful team. I mean, there's no two ways around it. This is a very powerful team, and it's not even the most powerful iteration of the team that you could use. Obviously, I elected not to take any of the new, quote-unquote, summonable Part 1, Part 2 LRs from the Worldwide Celebration campaign. I do have a Tech Carnival LR Broly. I could have put him on this team, but I didn't want to take him because I felt like it would be more fair and a bit more interesting to see for a lot of players who could take advantage of this type of team right here, where obviously maybe you guys were not lucky. Maybe you guys were not lucky to pull the Int Broly like me. Maybe you guys were also not lucky to pull the Tech Carnival LR Broly. Then you can use a team like this to get the job done, and obviously you could have different iterations as well. You could take some Kid Boos in there for uncontrollable power. You could take other various kind of Janembas if you had options like that. So there are a lot of kind of options you can take for variety's sake. That's what I want to say right there. And of course, this is a strong team, but this is not the strongest team by any stretch of the imagination. You guys could definitely take another more powerful team to get the job done in case you guys have been struggling early on. Alright, no damage taken here, we're good to go. Alright, now we got a lot of things here to look forward to. We have the revival in case we need it, but also we have 3 tactical nukes available, or 2 really, ready to go. So first of all, let's get the domain going here. We'll do some nice damage here, of course. And again, with that domain active, we'll do some damage, of course, but more importantly, we're getting rid of the damage reduction. That will make things a lot easier for us. Excellent, excellent. And actually, what I'm going to go ahead and potentially do, unless they activate the orb changer right here, no. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'll activate all of the active skills. We'll get Broly's active skill going. That'll make him do some more damage. We'll go ahead and also get the Int Broly's active skill going as well, so he can do a bit more damage. And the way I'm going to do this, for the sake of interesting kind of content, I guess, quote-unquote, I'm going to go ahead and see how much damage Broly can do to Goten and Trunks, because the type advantage plus no damage reduction, I'm curious to see myself how much damage can Broly put out, because Broly should be able to go ballistic. Broly should do crazy damage. Oh, we dodged the super. I didn't even register what just happened. For some reason, I thought that Broly got dodged right there, but somehow Broly dodged the Krillin super, so we'll take that, of course. A nice piece of damage right there. Alright, this is not going to do anything. We're good to go. We should be actually done with the phase right now within this turn. I don't see why not, because Krillin took some damage right there. Broly's going to wipe the floor with Goten and Trunks.
Holy shit.
56 million. Obviously not the highest stat we've seen in the game, but this is a crazy... I mean, if he crits, this could be... He didn't crit, but still, 72 million. Oh man, I love Tech Broly. Tech Broly is such a fun character. Also, he's such a bully. Look at this, man. He's bullying. Without the crits, too, he's still doing damage. If he had crits, right now, if he was critting, I dread to see what sort of damage he'd be doing to Krillin if he crit. 27 million with the critical damage. Alright, now in Broly, he's going to come in. He should be able to handle the job. And 17 million, I'll give him credit. That's actually a pretty good attack stat. Of course, he's stacking his attack, so he should be getting some good numbers. But with the active and everything, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a two-phase kind of fight right there. There you go. We should be done with Krillin in this super attack right here. Let's just confirm it. Give me the win. Give me the KO. Nice KO screen. There you go. Done with the fight. So there you go, guys. That's how you can beat the Goten and Trunks Bio Broly fight and the Uncontrollable Power mission, in case you guys have not been able to do so quite yet. Again, it's really not that difficult of a fight. You just need to know the mechanics, and you need to know some of the potential strategies to go ahead and beat this fight in a very simple and very comfortable manner. Because again, those bombs can be a bit problematic if you're not careful. All of the different kind of gimmicks can be a bit annoying if you're not paying attention to that. So those are things you want to pay attention to. Obviously, take advantage of the team comps as you can make them, and you should be able to do it no problemo. So that's what I would say right there. And obviously, again, you know, I didn't take any of the new summonable LRs with the Part 1 Tech Carnival LR Broly or the Part 2 Int LR Broly. If you guys have those types of units, I would definitely encourage using them, because they would just make this fight even more quick, even more simple, even more fun, and even more easy. So definitely take advantage of all of those types of units that you have in your box for these types of missions. In any case, that's going to do it for the vid. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like down below. Also subscribe to the channel and comment down below what other sorts of guides you guys would like to see me do on the channel. And feel free to check out some of the other vids on my channel as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.